What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay coming at you with another Splatter Talk Cinema video, and this video is gonna be a little controversial. Yes sir, it is, and before you bloodthirsty horror heads stick an axe in my head in the comments, just hear me out. Some movies deserve their place in history, others, I believe, not so much. There's some horror movies out there that get a high approval rating for absolutely no reason other than the nostalgic feeling it gives us, like it was the coming-of-age horror film you heard about and you went to go see it with your parents. One could argue that's the way that I feel about A Nightmare on Elm Street 4: The Dream Master, but you're fucking wrong, man. It's just a classic. Anyhow, there are films I believe that are way overhyped, that's given way too much credit. These pieces of work go through cinematic history with their credibility intact. People don't challenge it on its mediocrity or its plainness. This is your boy Jay, and it's time to think outside the nostalgic box and talk about a movie I feel doesn't deserve the credit it's been given. I'm talking about the original Friday the 13th. Let's get into it.
Creatures lie here, looking through the window. Yeah!
All right. From a movie standpoint, let's talk about the timeline of Friday the 13th. 1930, Pamela Sue Voorhees is born. 1946, Jason Voorhees is born. 1957, Pamela Voorhees is employed at Camp Crystal Lake as a cook, and that same summer, Jason drowned or allegedly drowned in the lake. 1958, the first two kills happen and the camp is shut down. 1979, the events of the first Friday the 13th take place. Now, I'm not gonna get into calling the movie play-by-play like I do in other reviews. I'm just gonna talk about the topics I came up with while watching it. The first topic, boredom. Let's get this out in the open. Now, the strip Monopoly scene, it felt like filler for the runtime. I just don't get it. And that brings me to my next issue, the kills. Tom Savini did a magnificent job on the major practical effects. Throat slits look incredible, especially the third teen that was killed. Some kills were lame. The first two kills, for example. Ned gets killed off screen. Lame. The next kill is Kevin Bacon. It's an iconic death, but did you see how long his fucking neck is? Anyhow, I have issue with it. We'll get into that later. Next, Marcy gets an axe to the head. You don't see the axe actually hit her head, but you see the after effects, and it's pretty fucking sweet. Way to go, Tom Savini. Next, Brenda goes outside because she hears a voice saying, "Help." One thing I love about horror movies is the fact that a person will go investigate the noise instead of getting the fuck out of Dodge. We cut away with a scream. Then Steve gets stabbed and you can't see it. Bill gets hung from a door, but you don't see how. Then we see Brenda get thrown through a window. After this, we think Alice is being saved. Nope. It's Mrs. Voorhees. She comes off being a sweet mother until the switch is flipped and we find out she's the killer. Everyone knows this is where she gets decapitated, but that brings me to my next gripe. Clickbait. I know what you guys are saying. What the fuck do you mean clickbait? Well, look at the kills where you see parts of Pamela Voorhees. When she slits Annie's throat in the woods, you see her back. a very manly back. When she killed Kevin Bacon, her hands were bigger than mine. That led me to believe that the killer was a man. They should have at least had Betsy Palmer do the kills so the twist at the end is believable. Speaking of believable, we reached my next issue. Believability. Going back to the timeline, we see Pamela Voorhees was 49 years old during the events of the Friday the 13th. I can't believe for 1 second that a 49-year-old woman could kill these teens without someone overpowering her. Screw that, a 49-year-old man. Some of these teens seen the knife and kill coming and just screamed. I said I'd talk about the Kevin Bacon kill? Okay, how in the fuck is a 49-year-old female who doesn't look physically intimidating at all hold a teenage boy to the bed by his head and then shove an arrow through said bed, through his skin, and out the other side? Or how about when Alice found that body in the Jeep? She runs a little ways and bam, a body comes down hanging from a tree. How in the fuck did Pamela Voorhees do all that? Dead weight is heavy. There's no way in hell she is doing all that by herself. I know what fans are saying. It's a scary movie. It's not real. I understand that. I understand that you have to suspend reality when it comes to these types of movies. Not my killer, though. If my killer is a person who can get you in your dreams, anything is possible. If my killer is a hulking brute zombie, I know bullets will only piss him off. If my killer is a 49-year-old grieving mother, there are limitations. So I can't believe she did all this in the movie. Ask yourself this. How can that type of killer go from this to this? Get the fuck out of here. That brings me to the next issue that I have with this film. It's a carbon copy. Friday the 13th is a ripoff of Michael Myers and Halloween all the way down to the reason for the title. Friday the 13th ain't have shit to do with bad luck, black cats, or broken mirrors. That movie would have sucked. I believe that the title was chosen because of the success of Halloween. The only thing different is the script, how the movie was shot more POV, thanks Alfred Hitchcock, and our killer was a woman. Who would have thought that the series would go to a place where they put a weapon in a big, hulking mute's hands? If you really look at it, the first Friday the 13th could be scrapped altogether. We come to the movies to see Jason Voorhees. I understand there was no Jason when the movie came out. I get it. The lure was established in this movie. We learned why Jason would eventually have a head and a sweater as a shrine in his hut. Without Pamela Voorhees, there would be no Jason Voorhees. I get it. But with all that I just brought to light, how could this movie be a classic other than being the first movie in a classic series? I truly feel the series is a classic, and the first movie was just the foundation. But what do you feel? I want y'all to let me know what you feel about the original Friday the 13th. Is it your favorite? Is it a classic? Do you agree with this video? If you think I'm way off base, please respectfully let me know in the comments below. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss any of the videos from Splatter Talk Cinema Review, and I want to thank those who are subscribers. Splatter Talk is a 2-man, 1-woman operation, and every subscriber we get is through us getting out there talking to horror fans. I recently put a post up in a few Nightmare on Elm Street fan groups on Facebook about who could fill the gigantic shoes of Robert Englund as the next Freddy Krueger, judging from 3 gentlemen I feel did a magnificent job portraying the son of 100 maniacs in fan films. So, if you want to see that video, subscribe and tell a friend who loves horror about us. They won't be disappointed. This is your boy Jay from Splatter Talk Cinema Review. It's a wrap.